Yeah, it feels really good. And hard for like slop more, I mean, do that eviscerated on the front. Yeah, I think there, but really good framework is super, especially specifically for texture in the mind of God. If you're going for that, a really useful framework is. I was right in the middle of a fucking roll. Now you can see pictures for 2 fucking hours. You got my daylight. I'm not gonna run my dirt bike now, and it knocked me a little bit off my roll, but honestly, we're still rolling strong. I think I'll be back to it in a minute. But that's it. But anyways, actually, my point is that I really fucking forgot what I was talking about, and it was it's sometimes it's difficult to view the current moment as perfect if you're in it, but if you can view like child slavery and rape and starving death, like which I can, then like then basically it's really easy to just view that as beautiful, and then you're like, now how does the present moment not be beautiful now? You're like, oh yeah. That's just like a sort of basic tool. I'll get people back on. And, we're only want to do the things we'll do. Like the panel. So I just example is I just I know about the show. I just and then simply you kept interrupting me and I kept walking my talking. This is what I meant before whenever I said Q-based perfection is just like you need it's problem solving. It's a problem solving with troubleshooting framework. So you need to view all of the things. And so essentially in this moment I was trying to do the old form of perfection. The perfection I was trying to do earlier today was sober. I was like 1 second and working to trying to do different things. In this case I was trying to close the perfection on the ego, where in this case there is no ego because ego's been obliterated by Sub-Zero. What's left is this chatter. It's just random chatter, random direction. The ego base is just there. And I'm not very connected to it. And then essentially when I'm trying to block out the ego, I focus on the ego, and the ego's not a problem, so I'm wasting my energy, and then Sub-Zero is raping me from behind. And so what I meant by what I meant by Cuba is basically what you need to do is you need to find the problem. I discovered that Sub-Zero was the piece of the open. Sub-Zero was the piece that wrap my brain around. Sub-Zero was the piece that wasn't factored into the infinite. It was providing a jarring wrench in the equation because it was factored for. So I troubleshot, found that out, then closed the loop. Thought that the feeling that Sub-Zero was giving me was perfection. It turned into like thrashing and riding, and then I viewed that as perfection, and then boom, we're there now.
This was the one. God, fucking damn it! This mic has literally stayed in place every other fucking day. Nothing is different. Nothing that fucking all has changed. And yet now it just will not stand in the fucking same way it has every other goddamn day. No fucking logical explanation for this retarded fucking shit. God. Okay, anyways, this was the message I said the other day that I captured the entire process of getting to feedback loop in one message through my perils with Sub-Zero. So I'll play it again.
I example is I just matched up Sub-Zero. I know I'm Sub-Zero, and I said Sub-Zero, and then essentially I kept interrupting me, and I kept walking on my talking. This is what I meant before whenever I said Q-based perfection is just like you need to, it's problem solving. It's a problem solving framework, the troubleshooting framework. So you need to view all of the things. And so essentially in this moment I was trying to do the old form of perfection. The perfection I was trying to do earlier today was sober. I was like 1 second and it wasn't working because I was trying to do a different thing. In this case I was trying to close the perfection on the ego, where in this case there is no ego because the ego's been obliterated by Sub-Zero. What's left is this chatter. There's just random chatter in random directions. The ego base is just there. And I'm not very connected to it. And then essentially when I'm trying to block out the ego, I focus on the ego, and the ego's not a problem, so I'm wasting my energy, and then Sub-Zero is raping me from behind. And so what I meant by Cuba is basically what you need to do is you need to find the problem. I discovered that Sub-Zero was the piece of the open loop. Sub-Zero was the piece that I could wrap my brain around. Sub-Zero was the piece that wasn't factored into the infinite. It was providing a jarring wrench in the equation because it wasn't factored for. So I troubleshot, found that out, and then closed the loop. Thought that the feeling that Sub-Zero was giving me was perfection. It turned into like thrashing and riding, and then I viewed that as perfection, and then boom, we're there. Sound. Probably it's fucking key area to make the thing which is viewing the infinite view itself as okay. To make the thing viewing infinite realize that it's finite.
That was the end of that message. I'm just trying to stop it now.
Close the loop is to make the thing.
What did you think about that? Do you understand it?
Yeah, like you're turning the thrashing into perfection.
Yeah, it's like actually what I'm saying is like the Sub-Zero is inherently making me miserable, and like I'm thinking about like I'm trying to focus, and then the Sub-Zero is like obliterating me from every side, and I'm miserable because I'm not capable of focusing. And then what I do is instead of trying to focus harder, I then understand that misery itself as thrashing, and then I immediately return to that chaos. So I'm like, that's literally directly like how feedback loop works even in modern day. Like basically what I'm saying is appreciate the harshness of the Sub-Zero to go through it. Like that's the modern day equivalent.
Close the loop is to make the thing which is viewing the infinite view itself as okay. To make a thing viewing infinite realize that it's finite, but moving is what it's there. Yeah. Which thinks that it's viewing the infinite, understand that it is finite. I am the infinite viewing the finite, and I am finite. So it's like this Ouroboros, which will eat itself in. Sweet. What were you gonna say? So what would happen? How to go?
Assuming what that was me getting sub 1. Let's see. Yeah, that was when we got the blue pyramids. Those babies were nice until the end. Then they sucked. I'm curious if I wasn't on. Are you there?
Yeah.
If I wasn't on Adderall, I would be doing sub 1 every fucking 2 weeks. Because the potency dies. I didn't used to know the potency dies. Now that I know the potency dies, if I didn't have like a massive buffer on when I could do it, I would be fucking slurping them babies down.
What time? When was that message?
That would have been a year and a half ago. We're still April.
Oh, right. April. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
But so, like I was saying, what prevents you from doing sub 1?
Well, I mean, me and Ryan were literally just talking about it today about when we should do it. Main thing was Christmas. Now that's came and went. Now it's just if we can figure out a time in the next 2 weeks. That's the plan.
One, two. Yep. From what I'm looking at, it seems like I'm gonna run out of my prescription 5 to 7 days early. Which puts me in the position where I'm thinking about maybe going for a sub 1 run here soon too. So that's funny. It's funny you say that you and Ryan talked about that today because I first thought of that also today when I looked at how much I had of my prescription I had left, and I was like, well, shit, that puts me in a little bit of a precarious position.
So what would be your plans? Would you finish it or would you save it or what?
No, I just finish it, and then if anything, I may speed up the rate at which I finish it, and then do a week off of it. And then I need to figure out the whole last sub 1 really fucked everything up because it made me, brought us all to the conclusion that obviously it was the fact that the last sub 1 was really old and not the fact that we'd just grown past sub 1. Which is annoying because that devalues all the research I did between Adderall and sub 1 for that first time. So I don't know anything about Adderall and sub 1. And we're like, maybe next time I go in and it works great because the sub 1 actually works, or maybe next time I go in and because the sub 1 actually works, I get super fucked. Like I get like actually fucked up because the sub 1 is actually functional and sub 1 does not like Adderall. Like I don't know. Yeah, that sucks. So I would like it if I could go like 3 days without Adderall instead of a week. That would be really nice. But I don't know how to measure that because I don't know this sub 1 well enough. Like I'm not like familiar with this. Like the only time we've done it was the last time we did it while you guys were in Kentucky, and it was great. But it was like I don't know what it's like consistently. Like I haven't done enough to be familiar with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if it was that powerful out there with all that stimulus, what would it be like when we're just in a regular place?
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like I should do it a week out this time. But I would really like it if I could just do 3 days out, and that was enough to completely clear that off my system. Because that would make it so much more convenient. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh my god, it scrolled me all the way down again. Because I connected on the PC, because I want to be able to fucking scroll down. God. Thankfully, it seems to have understood that I like scrolling up, so is it so much faster now than it did just a couple days ago? Okay, so now we are on. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so anyways, so yeah, that day that you sent me that journal is literally the day before, we got sub 1. So we heard the sub 1 messages, but this is what you sent the day before. You said, was looking through an old notebook, found these ideas from 363 days ago, almost a full year. So these are ideas from 2.5 years ago. I say water cycle actually holds up. Can't fight for true ego. Can't make it happen. Has to arise. One is being aware of the loop. The other is closing it. So those are two completely separate things. Obviously, water cycle actually holds up, and then separately, an hour later, I say, can't fight for true ego, can't make it happen, has to arise. What I'm saying there is like the ego, which calls itself God, cannot be made by you calling yourself God. It has to come up from the true underlying quote unquote belief. Then I say one is being aware of the loop, and the other is closing it. So I think I'm talking about left brain, right brain there. Then you say 120 years ago, these guys were writing about shapes and colors of thought textures and call them thought forms, and then send a link to Wikipedia. So, okay, I'll go ahead and send you the image of the notebook on Discord, and then I'll send you the link to the thought textures. We can look at both those. That is the notebook. And that is the article. What do you take away from that notebook?
Well, for one, I'm very interested in what is two, one memory, one spirit, 100%. I have no idea what that means. But the water cycle thing, I mean that. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's just obvious. That I was thinking about that the other day. Radio towers, pretty decent. I love the word conduits. I always remember that word.
Yeah, same thoughts basically. Memory and spirit, I think what we're saying there is like there's you, which is like your memories, and then there's you, which is the water, which is quote unquote your spirit, and then two makes both of you, and that would be like God. I don't know what 100% means. I'm assuming that's like the same concept we represented. And then you have the radio tower and the water, which are talking about the same thing, but the water's the better one. We have conduits, collective unconscious, and cloud. Conduits, like, yeah, that's a good word. We still use that. We have fragments, which, yeah, it's basically frameworks and stuff. Right, I think, based on the way we're using it then. And then collective unconscious, I don't really, I think, but with that, I don't know.
That would have been the cloud in the analogy.
Yeah, but it implies, wouldn't that be more the collective consciousness than the collective unconscious? Because
I think we were generally using that as like a similar same word.
Yeah, and then yes, and then cloud is obviously our word for God at that point in time, or a synonym for God that we were using. So yeah,
and we say 4D. I don't know if it's 4D or 4D fragments.
Weird. Huh.
Come on, man. This is too schizophrenic. Why didn't we like label it?
Wait, I think I know why. Is this the notes you took from when I was on sub 1?
So this would have been, it would have been like March or April of 21. It would have been before I ever.
I'm pretty sure it is. Because then it almost definitely was, because 4D. I remember 4D. That wasn't a framework. That was the way I saw the van. It was my first time ever on sub 1, and I saw the van. I was looking at the van, and then I understood for the first time in my life that like there's a view of the van from behind the van, and there's a view of the van if I'm standing to the right of the van, and that those look like two completely different vans. It was the first time in my life that I ever understood that like that those two things look completely different. Even though in my mind I'm connecting them as one van, they look completely different. And there's a million different ways to view a van. And it was like I could see the van in like 4 dimensions. I could understand that every way I look, the van was like a visual illusion, like that I was walking through like a museum or whatever. Like it was like it didn't actually exist as a thing. It just existed as its 4-dimensional angles that I could see from all its perspectives. I bet that is exactly what that was. And I bet all of this fragments, conduits, collective unconscious cloud, I bet all of this was just, 1-2 split or 1-2 memory spirit, 100%, that being like as close as you could get to God. I bet all this is literally the reason it's so schizophrenically taken down is because I was schizophrenically rambling and you were just trying to fucking write it down on paper. That makes perfect sense. That's insane. That's insane.
I wonder if we can go to March 25th of 21 in any chat. I wonder if we can find were we talking about sub 1 then?
I'm surprised we don't see that in Discord or something. I mean, it must have been that we just did it over text on like phones and iPads we just don't have anymore. Or I guess Skype or something maybe. Weird. And then there's the Wikipedia article. Speak real quick.
Hello, howdy, hey.
Never mind, you're good. Yeah, that's pretty insane. Where did we used to even find this shit? Holy shit.
No, it's very weird. Like there are periods in the life where it's like I am subject to actually good education, and I can just find it on my homepage just because it wants to be there. And there are other times where it's a drought, and it's like there's an actual weather system to good metaphysical content.
Well, yeah, and that is entirely dependent on your quote unquote belief in God. Yeah, weird. Okay, well, where did phone line? There we go. Okay. Oh, that's why.
I ended up doing it at the house that was abandoned and wasn't abandoned earlier today because it became re-abandoned. So I went to the abandoned house, and I don't know if the government's hacking my Wi-Fi or something. It's actually making me paranoid enough. I'm just relocating everything. But my cell service is not working. There's no reason it should be. But so anyway, I went to the abandoned house, the old abandoned house, and you know, I got inside the car. He told me a story how he had been Trevor, finally found some guy, and he told me that he could get me in the future. He could get me bulk prices on entire sheets at a time, which is like, yeah, that's 100. And so I'll be doing that in the future. Yeah, I mean that's just the gist of it. Opened it up. It's the blue with the gold sparkles. You know what I mean? He's a beaut, and he was just like, yeah, everything went fine. Everything went well. Everything went exceedingly well. Everything went, what, like, I don't know why. Today I just didn't feel nervous at all. The only I especially didn't feel nervous. It's like a dream. You know what I mean? If you're just taking part in it, and then it's over. And then you're left like, wait, did I just win? But it's just how big is the grid? How big is the grid of tabs? That's a 30. How does it fit in your hand? Is it hand side? Like, can I see a picture of it? Inform Ryan of this almighty. Can I see a picture of it? Not to submit that photograph to the federal authorities or anything. Also, I told Ryan he's a bit paranoid that you're gonna get snitched, and that 30 isn't gonna look good in the eyes of the good. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't. But yeah, the pictures, like, I just didn't get everything. But yeah, I'm kind of Ryan. I'm not saying for okay, so the closed loop framework is goddamn so working. Our loop is the key to getting to the silence loop is key to the framework seeking closed loop. So it needs to cause process closure. We have to explain the loop script. The loop script is you must maintain a okay, the closed loop framework is goddamn so working. Our closed loop is the key to getting to the silence closed loop is key to getting to the framework seeking closed loop. So it needs to cause process closure. We have to explain the loop script. So the loop script is you must maintain a grip on your mind where essentially you never think that there's anything in your mind that isn't the infinite. Every thought that thinks from the perspective of the infinite is still just a framework running in the finite, looking towards what could be the infinite. And it's that's what I meant when I said have no faith, have no belief. Like it's this bizarre thing where every single it's like whenever you close the loop, whenever you finally close off your mind, whenever you finally realize that even the thing thinking that is the infinite is the finite, and that's the infinite. Right? Ow, goddamn, fucking recall my red blocking. Ow. So anyways, whenever you goddamn it, fuck these red hands. And then whenever you it's so cool. So it's like
Trevor, you know your mic is